15-year-old boy, Prodigy, is trying to prove that Hawking is wrong and that God does exist. It's been almost 6 years since William Maelis enchanted the audience at his graduation ceremony from Penn Trafford High School in Pittsburgh, reciting verses from the Bible in ancient Greek and explaining quotes from Descartes. He was only 9 years old then. 4 years ago, the young indigo child, described as a child prodigy from the age of 5, graduated from St. Petersburg College in Florida and was preparing to continue his studies at the University of South Florida, he told a local newspaper in an interview. 2 years ago, the UPSOCL website dedicated an extensive tribute to William Maelis entitled 13-Year-Old Genius Tries to Prove That Stephen Hawking is Wrong. He Claims That God Exists. The theory about God. Atheists then try to say that there is no God, when in fact it takes more faith to believe that there is no God than to believe that there is a God. The genius William Maelis was so categorical when he tried to explain why Stephen Hawking was wrong. Like all atheists, the Post says, this 13-year-old indigo child who is already graduated from college is studying to become an astrophysicist to prove that God exists, basing his arguments on Hawking's work. In this way, he participates in the eternal debate between science and religion. However, in the process, he devalues the last genius that our planet had. In fact, in addition to his personal belief, Maelis explains with scientific argument why he claims all this. The first drink from the glass of natural science will make you an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for you. Well, atheists then try to say that there is no God, when in fact it takes more faith to believe that there is no God than to believe that there is a God, because it makes more sense that something created the universe than that the universe created itself. It takes more faith to say that the universe was created in its own than to say that something else created the universe, because that makes more sense, he explains. Who is William Maelis? From the age of 7 months, William, originally from the Greek island of Kalymnos in the Aegean Sea, spoke with complete sentences. He learned addition and subtraction before the age of 2, knew a 3-language alphabet a year later, and at 4, his older brother had already taught him algebra. When he was 5 years old, he read a 209-page geometry book overnight and woke up the next day solving complex problems. He made everything look like a toy, his father said. In a video he posted on YouTube, his pride can be seen at the age of 4 solving equations, at the same age explaining the lack of life on Mars. Ohio University psychologist Joan Rutzak, who worked with William, said that children like him are born once in 10 million and that they have an innate tendency towards altruism. Geniuses have this tendency to do good. They focus on the bigger picture of humanity. And as he points out, one of the biggest obstacles they encounter on their way is that the level of primary and secondary education does not satisfy their strong minds, that they feel alienated from their peers. College seems like a much better place for child prodigies. People accept it. They have more in common with an 8-year-old genius than his peers. I want to know the truth, he says, but his greatest interest is in space. In August, he will start studying physics so that later, in the not-so-distant future, he can make a career in astrophysics and work at NASA. My goal is to get my PhD by the time I turn 18, he says. He even has specific plans for how he will use his knowledge. He says, I want to prove through science the existence of God so that the world can know the truth. William even has his own theory that atheism is based on faith as much as religion, and that the universe is more likely to be the creation of a higher power than a coincidence. Science and religion are no different, he says. Science is a tool for explaining the world and does not prove that there is no God. This is on Soul Ask. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.